Ladies and gentlemen, we are here on election night in New York. Of course, the coverage continues right here on Newsmax TV well after the Malzberg show is over, so keep it tuned right here to Newsmax Television. And what would the Malzberg show be without the Malzberg panel? Two-parter today. Christopher Hahn, Democratic strategist and syndicated radio host. He's sticking around for both parts. Kurt Schlichter, trial lawyer and contributor for Town Hall and Independent Journal. Gentlemen, welcome. And because I'm that kind of guy, I'm going to start with the Republican.
Yeah, you are that kind of guy.
Kurt, if Donald Trump, could get 90 of the delegates or 85 of the delegates, he gets over the 50% threshold, and the same in most, if not all, of the congressional delegates, congressional districts, then he whoops it up and he moves on to Pennsylvania and the rest of the Northeast states. Is that going to happen?
No, I think he's going to do really well in New York. New Yorkers love Donald Trump. I'm not sure about the folks in the rest of the country, but they like Donald Trump. He's going to do well.
All right.
But I think Ted Cruz is calculating. He's cunning. I think he's going to come back, and I think we're going to find ourselves in a contested convention. That's going to be really
well, Christopher, what I'm afraid of is, I'm reading now how Ted Cruz is taking delegates that were already won in states by Trump. So I'm figuring tomorrow Cruz comes in and he steals the delegates and Trump wins.
Well, Trump's got the organization in New York behind him, which is why he's going to get at least 80 delegates tonight. He might do better, but I think 80 is a pretty good haul out of New York. I think the story tomorrow is how Trump turned it around here in New York, because it's going to be a huge win, to quote Donald Trump. So, and look, as for the delegates that Cruz is taking in other states, he's taking them on the second ballot and the third ballot. I don't think it is possible in any scenario that Trump becomes the nominee unless he gets it on the first ballot. But I do think it's becoming more and more likely that he will get it on the first ballot. The guy who wrote the art of the deal better be able to seal the deal with 100 people if he's short 100 votes.
And Kurt, say what you will, and we'll get Christopher to weigh in on this certainly, but Hillary, I think, is terrified. And you could look at it another way. She's just getting out in front of it. But I think she's terrified about Donald Trump, because all she talks about, and I shouldn't say all, I've heard her mention Cruz once, but 99% of the things she talks about in the ads she puts out are against Trump. So you tell me why you think that is.
I go back and...
Go ahead.
A lot of the numbers are really, really bad for Donald Trump against Hillary, but it's early. And Donald Trump's a wild card. Who knows what he's going to do? He's going to drive Hillary Clinton crazy. I wouldn't put Ted Cruz out of it either. That guy is cunning. He's smart. He's out wheeling and dealing the guy who wrote the art of the deal. So I'm not ready to surrender to Team Hillary just about now.
I think you put the ads out.
Go ahead, Christopher.
Kurt, you put the ads out against Trump because Trump is the story. He's been the story for the last year almost. So obviously you want to put the ads out that people are going to pay attention to. Democratic voters, and she's in a Democratic primary, are fired up about Donald Trump. You got to win the primary. You got to say, I'm the one who could beat Trump. That's why she does it. Look, I think it's a good strategy. I think it's all she could do right now.
All right, let's put up, I want to run a video. Nitpicking, yes, but the fact of the matter is, I played a rap thing before by some group, the two guys, YG and Nasty Hustle, or Nasty Russell, okay, and it's called F Donald Trump, and every word is that, and they threaten him, and that if you come here, we'll put you in the ground, El Chapo didn't shoot you yet, we will, but see, we're laughing, or at least, people, Christopher, but if this was against Hillary, and it was some white band, oh my God. So I'm bringing this up for the double standard. Hillary electioneered on the subway the other day when she finally swiped the card. That's against the rules. That's against the rules. Now, here's something else that's against maybe even the law. Let's watch what they did at their polling place today.
Sorry, I just know. Hillary!
Secret Service how are you?
She's coming.
I'm sure it'll be perfect. Thank you so much.
Christopher Hahn, the law says you can't do that.
What was she doing?
Electioneering.
You know what? I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, then why would I say I am? That's a wrap. But I will tell you right now, there's nothing wrong with what she did there. Give me a break.
All right,
she was the first lady of the United States, the Secretary of State. She's there with the former president of the United States, who's very popular in the state of New York. And trust me, people are going to want to take pictures.
Kurt, so you couldn't see the video, taking pictures, posing for pictures, hugging people, and then outside, there's a barricade set up. She's shaking hands, taking pictures with people. You're just not allowed to do it, but if you're Hillary, I guess you are allowed, like everything else in this country.
Well, look, we have two sets of law here. If the law was applied to Hillary Clinton like it had been applied to me when I handled classified material as an Army colonel, gosh, I'd be in Leavenworth now with making new friends and being passed around for cigarettes. But the law doesn't apply to Hillary anymore. In fact, I think this rule of law problem's becoming really serious. Look at your own Attorney General, Eric Schneiderman, who's trying to silence people for calling it on the global warming scam.
All right, guys, stay where you are. We're coming back. More of the Malzberg panel. Now I'm told Kurt and Christopher are coming back. Stay with us. All right, folks, we're back. Part 2 of the Malzberg panel. Of course, I remind you, after this panel, give me 5, and then the election night coverage starts in earnest all night long. We'll bring you the press conferences, the announcement, the victory party, I guess, by Donald Trump at 9 p.m. Eastern, and everything else along the way. In-depth analysis, great guests. Keep it tuned right here. And Christopher Hahn rejoins us on the panel, and Kurt Schlichter rejoins us on the panel as well. All right, Christopher, as a Democratic strategist, and a New York area guy,
yep.
126,000 New York voters, New York City voters, missing from the voting rolls. We have a report, not a report, it's true that the comptroller of New York will audit the Board of Elections.
Yeah.
The mayor of New York has said good. Will this have any repercussions? Say Hillary and Bernie are close, very close, and you got 120,000 voters missing. Could this prolong the outcome?
Well, it's not going to be close, first of all, but if it was, yeah, that would be a problem. And yeah, I think Comptroller DiNapoli, who's actually a good friend of mine, will do a good job auditing those books, and we'll look into this and find out what happened. New York's election system is a little antiquated. We don't have same-day registration. It's a closed primary here in New York. We have one day. We don't have any early voting. It's very, very difficult to vote in New York, and there needs to be some serious changes to the way we run elections in this state, I think. But this 126,000, 128,000 voters, that is alarming.
Yeah, it is alarming. Go ahead, Kurt.
I'm just stunned that a liberal administration can't handle a basic task like letting its people vote. It's stunning to me. I'm shocked.
Well, the Board of Elections in the state of New York.
Kurt, let him respond.
The Board of Elections in the state of New York are run equally by both parties. They are bipartisan organizations. Each party has the same amount of staffers in the Board of Elections to run these elections. So it is not run by a liberal government or a conservative government. They are Republicans and they are Democrats that staff the Board of Elections equally.
Of course, we have a Sandinistan supporting mayor, and in Sandinista, we know if those 126,000 people, they would disappear for more than just the voting
The problem
rolls.
with the Board of Elections, the problem with the Board of Elections is it's the 38th parallel. I mean, there's like a wall between those two camps.
Let me ask you, Christopher, because this delegate issue is not only a Republican issue, and I'd like to, we heard about super delegates. That I remember from last time around, too. But Bernie Sanders wins the state of Washington. He loses in the number of delegates. He could do very well in other states, and as he's done, and lose in the delegate count. I think, as I've said before, especially on the Republican side, I think this is going to bring about change going forward. Do you think that in 2020, can't believe I'm saying that, that it'll be different? Super delegates won't play as big a part, and the people's votes will more directly elect the nominee?
We're counting down to 220 already. Yeah, look, I think so. But let me be clear. Hillary Clinton's beating him in the popular vote. She's beating him with pledge delegates, and she's beating him with super delegates. Now, he might want to say that there's something going on, but he's losing the popular vote, even in these states.
Yeah, but when he wins states, he loses the delegate count, like Trump
He doesn't lose the delegate count. He might come out even. Maybe one state or two he might lose the delegate count here or there, but those are very close states. The Democratic delegates are very much proportioned by electoral voters. So if she's getting 45% of the vote, he might get one additional pledged delegate. But she's already won the superdelegates because, quite frankly, she's been a Democrat her entire career. Bernie Sanders became a Democrat a couple of weeks ago.
You said it's not going to be close. I assume you believe Hillary will win by how many tonight?
I think Bernie Sanders' ceiling is 41%. I think it's going to be anywhere between 38 and 41%, which is Zephyr Teachout, a little bit more than Zephyr Teachout did against Andrew Cuomo. She's going to get about 58% tonight.
What about it, Kurt?
Well, look, to me, choosing between Hillary and Bernie is like choosing between gonorrhea and syphilis. It's just a disaster either way.
Gonorrhea and syphilis are going to make you worth less cigarettes in the prison that you were talking about in the last segment. So just be careful with that, Kurt. I don't want you to have any problems. We want to get as many cigarettes as possible for you.
Look, I just love watching the Democrats fight it out. I mean, I'm a Republican. Welcome to my world for the last 9 months. You know, the Democrats are really having a crisis where the party doesn't fit the leadership anymore, just like us Republicans.
We're going to have to end it there, Kurt, and it's going to be interesting to see if Hillary gets a nomination, if Bernie, like 25% of Bernie voters vote or stay home. Kurt Schlichter, Christopher Hahn, thank you very much. Give Me 5 is next. Don't miss it.